Our first guest tonight is an Emmy-winning actor you know from American Horror Story and American Crime Story franchises. She's currently starring in Appropriate, which is playing on Broadway now at Second Stage's Hayes' Theater. Please welcome back to the show our very good friend, Sarah Paulson, everybody! Welcome back, my dear friend.
How are you?
I'm so happy to have you in New York City.
Thank you.
Doing a show.
Yeah.
But also, I'm very excited to hear that you're staying in my neighborhood. We're like basically neighbors.
Basically neighbors, and I walk my dogs 400 times a day, and I've never seen you.
You haven't seen me once.
So it just begs the question, where is your dog urinating?
Yeah.
Because I know you have a dog.
You know I have a dog. You love my dog. You love you. It's what's called a reverse Sandberg. How much you love my dog.
I really love your dog.
You really love my dog. My dog is pad trained. I know.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I mean, whatever you need to do.
Yeah. But also, you know my dog. My dog doesn't want to be outside in this weather.
Yeah, your dog is like a little skinny, mini
My dog has to wear a sweater outside. Basically, the only time it does is like June 15th to August 15th. It's like 2 months where she's allowed to be outside.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed, and we were talking about it backstage, and I know you obviously had no choice based on how much you love your dogs.
Yes.
You brought all 3 of them out from California to be here.
I did. I have 3 rescue dogs, and they are the absolute loves of my life.
Great.
Thank you. But they're California dogs, so like every time I take them outside here, it is quite an experience.
Yeah.
It takes me like 30 minutes to put their little sweater on. And they just really look at me like, why are we doing this? It's hell for them.
Do they travel well?
I'd never flown with them on an airplane before.
Okay.
I actually had one very great experience, which is my one dog, Louise, who is the more emotional, I would say troubled. Let's say troubled.
Okay, gotcha. You're her emotional
I'm her emotional support human.
Right.
And I took her out of her little bag and I showed her, like, had her look outside the window. And it was very clear to me the moment she realized she was like 30,000 feet off the ground. She did this whole like, and I was like, that's right. You're very smart because you know this is not normal. We're not supposed to be up here.
That, by the way, you're a terrible emotional support human.
I'm like, look at it.
Look at it. You think it's bad in that bag? You're right here. My wife knows how much you love Frisbee. And she, I think, maybe saw you and said, Sarah Paulson's in the neighborhood. Try to give her Frisbee.
I don't know what to say about you wanting to give your dog away.
I don't want to give it away.
Seems
My
like
wife does. It's
wow.
terrible. The problem is we had 3 kids, and the dog
You have 3 kids?
Yeah.
I think I only knew about the 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get it.
But give the dog away.
Yes, I do. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
To me. I will take the dog.
Gotcha. We're just gonna find you. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna find you in the park with your 3
just
dogs, and
hand
we're gonna sneak the leash into your hand, and you won't even know when you get home that you're like, do I have 4 now?
Exactly.
This is fantastic to have you back on Broadway.
Thank you.
Broadway audiences, lovely,
Sure.
enthusiastic.
Yes.
But maybe,
also,
okay, great.
I'm sorry, I have to just take the wheel.
Okay.
That's like a very wheel. The people in the audience are very loud.
Yeah.
I think you think as an audience member, and maybe, I mean, I don't think this, but it seems like they do, that there's like a glass partition between the audience and the stage.
You can't hear them.
That I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I hear every sound you're making. I hear your sighing. I hear your frustration. So there are phones going off all the time, and then there's the lady who's like, turn off your phone. And I'm like, what? You just made a bad situation exponentially worse by shouting at full volume. Also, there's the cough, the freedom of the cough, which is like, once one person finally lets out their cough they've been stifling for like 2 hours, then like 16 people are like, oh, no. Like all of a sudden in the quietest moment of the play, it's just like a cacophony of coughs. It's hell on earth. I just feel like I have to ask for a little bit of awareness of like, we are up there doing the play for you whilst thinking about like what we might have for dinner or when the show is over. Like there's a lot going on in the human brain while you're doing the play. It doesn't help if I see the person in the 3rd row doing this. I can see you. I see you. I can see you. I can hear you. I feel you. Your energy is all part of our experience.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I need to make a public. This is my public
This
service
is your
announcement.
PSA.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great. It's coming across.
Please, is it?
I
Okay.
like the observation about that person who thinks they're a hero when they yell, "Turn off your phone."
Yes.
Because I will say this: I don't think anybody's phone goes off in a Broadway theater on purpose. You know what I mean? I think
Yes,
every
they're
time
not
it
like,
goes- Yeah.
can't wait to do this in Act 3.
Like you never.
Bing, yeah. No, they're
when
not
someone's
doing
like, "Turn off your phone,"
Yeah.
they're like, "I'm expecting a call." No one yells that back.
No, they don't. They don't.
That's
But
fair.
this has been the play is quite raucous. There are many things that happen that
Yeah.
cause audience responses that
Okay.
are kind of amazing for us as actors.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like, the character I'm playing is a complicated woman, and let's just say sometimes there are audience reactions that are unpleasant for me because they applaud when I'm told off.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, I see. You agree with Rachel in the play that I may have some sort of psychological trouble. And then I have this sort of thing to do at the end of the play that is difficult to do when I feel I have enemies in the audience. Let's just put it-
Interesting.
yes.
Now
So,
you did. I have read that you had a unique inspiration for your character. Who's
I did.
This complicated person.
Meredith Marks from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Great.
It's that and Chimp Empire, which was on Netflix. I don't know if anybody
Okay.
has watched that. It's excellent.
Okay,
It's about
gotcha.
a bunch of chimpanzees. So if you figure out somewhere between Chimp Empire and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I found my character right in the middle of that somehow.
And-
so I'm not playing Meredith Marks, but I was inspired by some of her physicality and some of her intensity.
Gotcha.
Right.
And now,
Now no one can make fun of me for watching The Housewives, which I've been doing since its inception, basically.
from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Are you a genuine fan? Like, would you be genuinely excited if you met one?
Heather Gay came to the Sunday matinee
Uh-huh.
of our show and didn't come backstage, but I saw her Instagram stories during my intermission. I probably shouldn't tell people that I'm looking
I
at
love, by the
Instagram.
way, you're telling the audience, like, I'm doing a show. Meanwhile, you're backstage.
I'm like, dislike. Oh, where's she? Oh, she's in Paris. How fun. No, I'm really focused. But Heather Gay was in the audience and then didn't come backstage because she felt too shy. Meanwhile, during intermission, I went to everybody knocking at everyone's dressing rooms, being like, Heather Gay is here! Heather Gay is here! And people were completely flipped out and we were all excited and figuring out what we were gonna do. Lo and behold, Steven Spielberg was also in the audience that day. And it was like, people were like, yeah, great, where's Heather Gay? And I told Heather this on Instagram, and I was like, you better come backstage. And she was like, I'm just too shy. I was like, too shy? I've seen like almost all of your body parts on national television.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking
It's
about?
too late.
It's
Shy-
too
it's
late.
too late for
It's too
shy.
late for shy, babe. Like,
Here's another PSA to, let's call them celebrity guests at
Yes.
a Broadway show.
Yes.
You should always go backstage.
you gotta go. And Heather Gay maybe doesn't feel that she
Of course.
qualifies,
Yep.
but she does.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like we got all excited,
Yeah.
and she didn't come back. So
Shame on her.
shame on you, Heather Gay.
I think she appreciates that she made an error, and I think she'll.
I think she's going to rectify it.
Yeah.
Right?
If there's one
Yeah.
thing I know. If there's one thing I know about Real Housewives, it's that they learn and change. That's the one takeaway of that show.
Yes, that is right.
Everybody's always self-improvement. The arrow's pointing up for
Yeah.
everybody. You have a wonderful cast. Corey Stoll.
Corey Stoll.
Elle Fanning.
Elle Fanning.
Elle Fanning, I just heard, she was on Jimmy Fallon talking about you making her break. You do a fair amount of yelling.
I do a fair amount
yeah.
of yelling in this play. It is true. And so vocally, it's challenging. And so
Yeah.
what happens sometimes on a matinee day when my voice is not appropriately warmed up and I don't have all the things. I went into your bathroom here today and I just started going like warming up my voice to get ready
Yeah.
to do the play that, anyway.
Right, the public one,
the
not my
public-
personal bathroom.
No, I went into your bathroom. I just wanted to touch all your stuff. Anyway, my point is, I do a lot of yelling and a lot of cracky voice things happen on a
Yeah.
Saturday matinee, Wednesday matinee. And one time I went on stage and I said the line, all right, River is my line. Elle plays a character named River. And instead it came out, all right, River, like that. And Elle was just like, she looked at me and I was like, oh, shoot. And then she gave me so much crap about it, and we laughed very much about it. And then that night's performance, the Saturday evening performance, she has a line where she says, my mother, and instead she said, my mother. And I was like, So these things happen on stage sometimes, and the horrible part of it is that you're supposed to act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Whereas in life, I would have been like, your mother, ugh. Like, I just would have done a whole thing. But you have to act like it's not happening, which is so bizarre.
It's also so unfair to the playwright who had never understood.
By the way, the playwright was there the first time Elle laughed because Elle did something and I went like this to her and she started to laugh and we both broke up in front of, and I think our playwright was really like, please don't do that again. People have paid good hard money to come see a Broadway play and we're up there like, we're so funny to one another. Meanwhile, the audience is like, we don't know what you're laughing about, first of all. And second of all, that's not the story of the play.
Yeah.
But maybe they sort of feel excited a little bit, like they're seeing a secret thing that happened on, right? I don't know what this is about.
I know.
I like to do that.
I really like, this has been an interview that's gone full circle where you're
Sorry.
like, the audience is bad.
audience, you're
and now
terrible.
you're like, I don't care about them.
I'm like, Instagramming, I don't know what's happening.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy to have you on my street. I am going to go to the park with Frisbee. I want her to meet your dogs.
I think we've decided your dog is now my dog.
I think we have two, which just means the world to me.
Don't say I never did anything for you.
Oh, I never
Took your
would.
dog from you.
Thank you so much for being here. It's
Thank
so
you for
great to
having
see you.
me.
You guys, Sarah Paulson, she's the best. Appropriate is now playing on Broadway at second stages. Hayes Theater, stick around. We'll be right back with Monkey Dog. That's your face.